Peace Queen. It's Melissa Crawford of thequeencode.com. And the message today is part 6 in the Queen Ascension series. So there are 5 previous videos that if you haven't seen, you can always catch up to later. But especially video 1, because in video 1, I go deeper into why I'm doing this series and what we're going to achieve in this series. But I'll do a quick recap here. So the series is called Queen Ascension, meaning Queen's Rising. And the reason why I'm doing this series now is because it is so relevant to what's going on right now at this moment on this planet with women worldwide. We are rising, we are ascending, we are being called not just to another level, but a new dimension. And a new dimension is like another world. So we're being called out of an old place, being upgraded to a new place. And in that new place, new things are being done a new way. There are some lessons and things that you've learned from the past that surely you can take with you. But this new place is really a new way of being. It's a higher consciousness. And so as you're making this shift, I want to offer you some clarity. I want to offer you some guidance to give you some peace, because you may be feeling a little lonely right now because it's so different. Or you may have a ton of questions about, how do I find my purpose? Where is my purpose? Where do I start? What do I do? Whatever those questions are, I want to give you some guidance and some clarity about how to cross over from what I call the 3rd dimensional queen to the 4th dimensional queen. Now, speaking of the dimensions, in the 3rd dimension, that's where we currently are as a planet, but we're quickly transitioning out of it. So in the 3rd dimension, it's that solar plexus, that fire power, the get it done, masculine, conquer, move, do. It's that kind of energy, which is a great energy. But we've gone to the extreme in that energy. And as a result, in our planet, in our world, it's like we're experiencing, in a lot of ways, hell on earth. Because that extreme, solar plexus power, get it done, masculine energy has really taken us to the edge of destruction with the wars and the strife and the limits and the lack and, all of those things, the conflict, the separateness. All of that is really taking us to the edge of destruction. And so now we're being upgraded to something new. That's the 4th dimension. Right now we're in the age and stage of heart. The 4th dimension is about peace and purpose and fulfillment. Why am I here? It's given rise to all of that. People really wanting to know what they're here to do, what they're called to do on a mass level like never before. The 4th dimension is feminine in nature. It's about flow. It's about, really getting into alignment with who you're called to be. And so in the 3rd dimension, we've had some great things happen, some great innovations and inventions, and we're supposed to bring those things with us as we rise to this next dimension. So in that way, it's an integration of the masculine and the feminine. So what I want to share with you, Queen, is the clear distinction between the 3D, the 3D Queen, and the 4D Queen. So that if you're still kind of in the 3D level, it's time to be upgraded. It's time to, shift and align yourself so that you can really rise to that 4D level and be the woman that you're called to be and do the thing that you're here to do. There are gifts right now stored inside of you that can enhance not only your life and the life of your family and your community, but the world. And it's time to do your great work. It's time for you to wake up. Okay? So here we are in part 6. And in part 6, I want to focus on the warrior queen. I want to focus on the warrior queen in this video because she is really important to this great shift that's going on right now. She's very important to what I call the royal rapture, because that's literally what's happening right now, except that, if you're familiar with the idea of the rapture, it's not like we're going anywhere. We're still here on earth, but it's like we're in a whole nother different state of consciousness. We're in a whole nother dimension. And the warrior queen is very important to that. So, more so than anything, it's time for her to wake up. So here we are, the 3D warrior queen, part 6. The 3D warrior queen is a woman that's constantly focused on hard work. Because of her background, maybe she's had some real issues in her childhood, been abused, or maybe she's been a single parent for whatever reason. There's a break between her and her femininity, and she thinks that value is in working hard, and she's really focused on survival, and she's constantly in survival mode. She's constantly at a place where she's limited because she thinks that in order to achieve things, it's going to come through hard work. And at the same time, even though she's diligent and she works hard and she believes in getting things done, she also makes excuses sometimes as to why she can't do this or that, why it's not easy for her to do this or that. And because she knows excuses, she puts herself in a box and she's limited. So it's like, in terms of this new age and this new stage, there are some things that are trying to flow your way, 3D warrior queen, that because you're resisting, that you're blocking your blessings. Because you're not able, due to your past, to open your heart and allow, you're blocking your blessings. One of the things that a 3D warrior queen believes is that in order to be worthy of a greater blessing, you got to work hard for it. And so she has issues with deservability. She has issues in accepting the fact that she deserves the highest and that it doesn't have to come in such a hard way. And so that is the 3D warrior queen. Now the 4D warrior queen is very different. She still has the same fire spirit, but instead of always focused on survival and fighting, she is a queen that's focused on feeling. The 4D warrior queen is not a woman that does battle in the natural. The 4D warrior queen is a woman that knows that we wrestle not with flesh and blood. She does battle in the spirit. Whereas the 3D warrior queen is about hard work, the 4D warrior queen is about heart work. So even though the 4D warrior queen, she's diligent, she's able to go forth and get things done, she also goes deep within. She does heart work. She clears the blockages in her heart that keeps her from receiving abundance and grace. She knows that she's not supposed to toil. She wasn't built to do that. And if she could just open her heart more to receive, that her blessings would come in such an abundance, that her blessings would come to her in a way that they flow. And so the 4D warrior queen is so beyond this, I gotta work 100 hours a week to be worthy, or I gotta do this and do that to get done. Her heart is open and she's focused on healing her heart. She's focused on doing the work it takes to not only forgive herself, but also forgive others. She's focused on all of that. She knows that because she has no excuses, she has no limits. She's not looking at someone else and saying, oh, well, it's easy for that person to do it because they didn't grow up like me. They didn't have my problems. She's not talking like that. And I'll tell you, queen, it's funny because, I've been a warrior queen in 3D. Now I'm a warrior queen in 4D. And it wasn't easy to make the shift, but it's so hilarious now to hear people, look at my life and, look at what I do. And of course, I feel like I'm just getting started, but it's funny when people look at my life and go, oh, well, it's easy for you because, well, you have this or you have that, so it's easy for you because, but it was not easy because I did the work that a lot of people don't want to do. I went within. I could have tacked on another 20 hours of a work week, but I realized that wasn't the problem. I really had this notion in my heart that life wasn't supposed to be that hard. And so I began to do the inner work to get out of my own way so that I could be blessed how God wanted to bless me. As warrior queens, we have great positions in the kingdom. Like I said, we don't do battle in the natural, we do battle in the spiritual. We have great positions, we're bona fide leaders. We're being called right now to take our positions, and it's time. And I don't have it easier than anyone else. I just made some different decisions. And so that's what I'm asking you to do right now, Queen. It's time to make a clear decision. 3D Warrior Queen or 4D Warrior Queen. Now there's so much more that I want to reveal to you about the Warrior Queen. And I'm actually going to do this via a masterclass that I'm having this Wednesday, April 9th at 6 p.m. from 6 to 8:30. This is a masterclass. Clear your schedule, okay? Take this time out for you. But this is a masterclass in the Royal Academy for Rising Queens. And in this masterclass, I'm going to go deeper not only into the Warrior Queen, but there are other types of queens, 5 more types, so 6 in all. And I'm going to talk about each one in depth. I'm going to talk about where you're being held back, how to break free, how to move forward. We're going to talk about purpose, how to find purpose, all of those things. And so in making a clear decision and a clear choice, if you know that this message resonates with you and you know that you want to be equipped so that you can powerfully step into the 4th dimension, then I encourage you to go to www.readytoreign.com/royal. That URL is either above me right now or below me, but again, it's readytoreign.com/royal. If this message is speaking to your heart, I encourage you to go there, sign up for the class. And even if you're in, South Africa, Australia, the UK, international, you can still listen by way of internet. And even if you can't make the live call, it will be recorded. But Queen, you need to be equipped and get this information. So that is our part 6 of the Queen Ascension series. What is it gonna be? Where are you going to live? You can no longer straddle the fence. The gap is closing, Queen. You gotta make a decision. And I know that as a warrior queen in 4D, I understand that part of my purpose is to help equip you for this newness. And so that's what I want to do at a deeper level in the Royal Academy for Rising Queens. So again, if it speaks to you, just go to www.readytoreign.com/royal. And I'll be coming back next week with part 7 of the Queen Ascension series. Stay tuned.